dear compatriots, pour yourself a proper drink and lean close, for I must regale you with the most bewildering escapades of my travels. The time I, Sir Bartholomew Featherstonehaugh, Lord of good taste and questionable directions, quite accidentally discovered the planet of Zandt. I had set my course for the noble snows of Tharkad, intending to deliver a lecture on refined logistics to the Lyran aristocracy. Yet, as fate and a jumpship navigator with a tragically flexible relationship with accuracy would have it, my vessel emerged not above the shining spires of civilization, but over a small, dune-colored world that looked precisely like a burnt loaf of bread. Thus began my unintended holiday in the most stubbornly alive patch of rust this side of the periphery. Upon descent, I beheld what might charitably be described as architecture, though one suspects most of it to be constructed by accident. Towers of corrugated metal leaned upon one another in an attitude of shared exhaustion. Yes, while the planetary capitals stretch outward in a tangle of pipes, gantries, and what may have once been shipping containers. Yes, I have seen scrapyards with greater self-esteems, and yet, to my eternal astonishment, everything worked. Doors opened, lights flickered bravely, and the hum of engines sang a lullaby to the dust. It was as though the entire settlement had refused to die out of sheer spite. The very air itself was a sensory experience, mind you, yes. A bouquet of oil, ozone, and optimism long past its expiration date. Each breath carried a tang of burning coolant and overcooked enthusiasm. And by the second day I found it oddly invigorating. Yes. One does not so much breathe Van Zandt's atmosphere as one absorbs it, like a baptism in machine grease. Yeah. The society that clings to this improbable sphere is an equally curious composition. Every inhabitant seems a philosopher of engineering, speaking in the dialect of torque wrenches and hope. They live by the code of the bolt and the barbecue. Yes, improvising greatness from the discarded leavings of more respectable realms, yes. Nowhere is this better embodied than in their sacred institution of mechanical resurrections, yes, the legendary Bubba J's Mech-oplex. Here, in the Cathedral of Sparks and Shouting, broken battle mechs are reborn through equal measures of talent and madness. I observed a crew there rebuilding an urban mech from the remains of a grain harvester and what I swear was a household oven. They celebrated its ignition with a feast of fried mystery meats and unanimous applause. It was ghastly, glorious, and deeply moving, yes. And what you may ask is culture without sport, yes. On Van Zandt, sport takes the form of an derby, a spectacle of such chaotic exuberance that words can barely contain it. Picture a dozen squat urban mechs, painted in shades of vanity and poor judgment, thundering across the settlement streets to the adoration of an audience that measures safety in decibels. The crashes, the cheers, the fireworks. It was part demolition, part celebration, entirely magnificent. I found myself shouting encouragement until my throat surrendered in admiration. Behind the laughter and explosions, however, there lies a curious dignity. The Van Zandt people are not merely survivors, they are artisans of endurance. Their society functions through a kind of cooperative anarchy. No clear hierarchy, no formal government, merely a web of mutual necessity bound by stubborn pride. Yes. Yet, in this chaos, I sensed a strange harmony. They may quarrel, shout, improvise laws on the spot, but by sundown the work continues, and somehow, impossibly, the world keeps turning. Yes. Then their guiding intellect is whispered about with affectionate reverence. He's simply known as the Professor. A figure of both science and folklore, who seems to appear whenever repairs are needed, dispensing advice and solutions with an air of weary omniscience. Whether he is one man or of many, none can say, but his legend sustains them as surely as fuel and faith. When the time came to depart, I stood upon the spaceport's crooked landing pad, a marvel of welding and optimism, and gazed upon the horizon. The sun dipped behind the skeletons of old factories, the sky glowed with the reflections of endless forges, and the air trembled with the low thrum of 1,000 stubborn machines refusing to die. Yes, I felt a rare sense of humility, quickly chased by the desire to bathe. For all its rust, all its racket, Van Zandt possesses a vitality that the great houses have long forgotten. A mad, magnificent existence on being. And though I returned at last to the comforts of civilization, a part of me will forever remain there, dust streaked, oil-perfumed, and grinning like a fool amidst the din. So, my dear viewers, if ever your jump ship drifts astray and deposits you upon that improbable world, do not curse your fate. Step forth, breathe deep, and let the spirit of Van Zandt seize your very soul. You will return changed, dirtier, poorer, happier, and quite possibly with an urban mech you can never quite explain to customs. This is Sir Bartholomew Featherstonehaugh signing off from the farthest reaches of decency. Long live the first prince, and may your coolant always run clean.